I was able to actually open up an SDCC exclusive box of Marvel Mint. I actually pulled a Spider-Man out of 10, platinum, and the border was like gold and black, speckled. It looks amazing, right?
That's awesome.
And I was able to grade it through Overtime Cards, and we're waiting to hear back to see if it's a PSA 9 or 10. So
awesome. When'd you pull that?
Pulled it just right a week after the SDCC.
Oh, sweet.
I was able to get a box. I was one of those guys that the boxes came out that night.
Yeah.
And I bought one right away.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Overtime Cards podcast. I'm Tate, here with Chauncey and Joshua from Marvel Madness, his channel on YouTube. Joshua, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast.
100%. I'm a local customer as well as, I do have a card content show called Marvel Madness MSU. I appreciate that. We have now over 11,000 subscribers, so glad to be part of this Overtime Cards collaboration.
Going to be a great episode. So first off, I'll just ask you, what got you in the hobby and how have you got started that with your YouTube channel and how's that been going?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. So overall, my collecting journey started in 1990 when Marvel Universe came out. 1990 Impel. That was the very first set that came out. I was 10 years old. So that's when my collecting journey started. And now I collected for 3 or 4 years until I was 16 years old. And then I started dating girls. So I had a big 20-year plus hiatus. And then just right after COVID, just came right back into cards. Been doing my content for over 4 years now, along with a bigger content creator called Spidey Hits. But now I'm really approaching where he's at right now at 11,000 subscribers. So
that's awesome.
I'm glad to be here. And it's going to be, that's great.
What brought you back? 20 years, long time. What brings you back into the hobby?
So I guess around COVID 2020 per se, there were things selling on what's called golden auctions. We know what golden auctions is, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
Golden auctions is an auction house that sells just a bunch of different trading cards, anywhere from baseball, Mickey Mantle to Michael Jordan rookie card. And then we have now Spider-Man and Wolverine and all this rookie things going on. So that being said, with all the Marvel and everything like that coming in, that's what happened is some of these cards in the 90s were selling for $5K, $6K at a PSA 10. I was like, what's PSA? I didn't even know what grading was actually.
Yeah.
So in that aspect of things, I got into grading. I got into like knowing a little bit about how the card hobby works in baseball and all the different sports and Pokemon. And so Marvel has always been a sleeper, and so when this happened after COVID, it was just blowing things up. So I was like, what the crap? All my cards that was like in the 90s. I have binders and binders full. I'm going to go through them. I actually took binder cards out, was able to send it to PSA, and I got PSA Gem Mint 10s back in a binder form.
Wow.
So.
And from a binder book straight to a slab with a PSA 10 on it. You can't ask for better than that. Right?
That is awesome.
One of the first cards that I remember grading was actually a PSA 9 that came back, and it was actually my very first card from PSA. I spent a little bit more money to get it quicker because it was taking like over a year. And so I was like, I'm going to send this hologram in. And it was the hologram that I actually opened in a pack when I was 10 years old. So like, come on now. Like you open up a pack in 10 years old and it comes back a 9. That thing's still in my collection. It'll stay in my collection forever. So
that's awesome. That's what I was going to ask. Like what other big notable hits have you had either on the channel, personal, or that have just stuck with you and you'll never forget that, kind of like that one you just mentioned?
I mean, you never forget some of the cards that you pull when you're a kid.
But, for sure. Yeah.
Nowadays, with the new product that is out, I was able to open up a 92 Platinum, which is Joe Jusko art. Marvel Masterpieces 92 Platinum. Remake of Joe Jusko's 92 Masterpieces. And I pulled a green Venom out of that. And not only did I pull the green Venom, but the green Venom actual case came from Overtime Cards.
There you go. That's what we want to hear, especially coming from the shop.
That. I think that's an easy one on my next question. Breaking seems like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Why do you love it? What brings you in? What keeps you doing it? And it seems like it is some work on the back end, but you seem to love it. You got great energy about it. What about breaking stands out to you and opening product, especially for other people, I think?
Yeah, so I have always been one to open my own product. I don't ever sell my box spots for my PC stuff, right? And so I do have box breaks that I have buddies that actually pay money for the spots and all that. And I'll open these big boxes, you know. But in general, just breaking Marvel, it brings me back to the 90s. It brings me back to my childhood. That's kind of why a lot of us do it, is the nostalgia of it, right? When we were a kid and everything. So collecting in general, Marvel cards, it's a passion of mine. I actually, if you were to just be like, okay, here's a Michael Jordan collector, here's a Kobe Bryant collector, I'm actually a Wolverine PC collector. So
awesome.
I have tons of different Wolverine cards, graded, non-graded. I even have a 101 out of 2021 Marvel Premiere of Wolverine. And Batsky was the artist on that one. And I'm very happy to have that in my collection. So
that's sweet.
Amazing.
What made you choose to go into Marvel instead of sports or anything like that? Why Marvel?
Yeah, so I haven't been always into sports, to be honest. I was one of those that, like, when everybody was pulling their Ken Griffey Jr. card at that time when I collected cards, I was looking at my Marvel cards, looking at all the stats on the backs of the cards and everything. In 1991, Marvel Universe had all the stats on the back, so I was just reading the back of my cards. And I got into a little bit of comics, but not too many, but mostly it was the Marvel cards. And I'd have to say sports, I mean, I respect the grind. I respect the hobby.
Yeah.
And I do welcome any sports guys that want to actually check out the Marvel, right? But that's really what I'm here for, is the Marvel. Yeah.
Awesome.
That is awesome. It's a bit of a pivot, but kind of going off of what you've been talking about. We have a lot of folks in shop who are coming in. They want to recapture the nostalgia. They want to feel the thrill of being 10 years old in 1990 going after these cards. What would you recommend as a product, maybe a good starting point, somebody who's getting back into Marvel cards, getting back into the hobby? You know, if you walk into your local card shop, where's a good starting point? Or what is a good product for somebody to look for while they're out and about as you're trying to get back into it? What does that look like?
I would say, because I actually have 5 boys, okay?
Awesome.
And one of my boys is 9 years old. And we actually had a great time and a fun time opening blasters. So blasters are an easy way to get into Marvel where it's not as expensive as hobby boxes. And that's kind of where I would kind of start at, is if you're looking at a younger collector or even coming back in.
Yeah.
Start with blasters. Maybe find a hobby box that you're in love with the actual art or the product. For instance, Marvel Sapphire that just came out, guys. That if you like glittery cards or if you like cards that are shiny, this is probably a good product for you. But you got to look at it as, okay, is that $800? Is it going to be a good fun for me? You know, do I have that ability to pull? You're going to pull like 6 different numbered cards out of here, but you don't know what character, right? So it's going to be a gamble. But in the end, I think you just go what your heart goes for, right? And so that's what I would say, that start out with blasters, then get into hobby slowly but surely. But once you're into it, I would say watch a bunch of YouTube videos that I have on Marvel Madness MCU. You can go to different channels out there. There's plenty of them out there. But yeah, that's kind of where I would start it at. And DM me always on Marvel Madness MCU on Instagram. Be happy to talk to you about it.
Awesome. Great resource for you folks out there. Joshua will get you taken care of.
Hit them up. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this podcast as well. Subscribe and make sure you guys like it. We do some giveaways on this show, so make sure that you're always interacting with the video. So if we ever do give away some of the cards that we pull on the show, you can enter that yourself and be a subscriber and be able to also turn on the post notifications so you know when we post a video.
Before we get into the opening of the actual product, because we have a really cool one today and then another awesome new release to talk about, I want to talk about a change that has happened kind of in the Marvel world in the last year or so, that any sports collectors, I know a lot of us are nervous about kind of seeing this. It is Topps kind of taking over the production, the licensing, and the printing of the cards. This is, for example, the Sapphire we're going to open. I know it's their second iteration from Topps, but the Marvel Mint that we're going to talk about is their first one. So Joshua, as somebody who's kind of been in it as these changes have been taking place, what have you noticed? Good, bad, new things, different changes? What have you been seeing with the Topps sort of takeover of the Marvel card world there?
That's a loaded question, but a great question altogether. I would have to say that's a really loaded question.
It is. I'm sorry. There's a lot of nuance to this one.
I'd have to refer back to a live that happened yesterday on one of my buddies' channels, Marvelously Sketched, where he basically was talking about this same thing. Now, Upper Deck, they had some quality issues, quality control and everything like that on some of the older modern sets. And that was the big issue. And people couldn't get product and everything like that, right? And this is when Whatnot started a few years ago. It was just getting people right into Marvel. Upper Deck had the license. Upper Deck, the one thing that I did like about Upper Deck is they had a community rep. They had a community rep for Marvel cards, for the Marvel card collector. So we actually heard from the company and gave input to the company, and the company gave input back to us, and they took feedback.
Right.
I would love for Topps to do that.
Yeah.
At the same time, I know Topps Fanatics, it's a monster, it's an animal, it's much different. And that may be something that we just have to kind of know how to evolve to. So we just know that some of the Topps in the past, a lot of their product have been very expensive in sports cards.
Yeah.
And with Marvel, it might be the same. And so I would have to say the change has been, a lot of Marvel card collectors don't like the change of the high prices, the product not being available. They do have what's called an EQL. It's supposedly an equal way of getting cards. Well, if you're not a breaker or you're not an actual card shop, you're probably not going to, as a collector, get into the EQL. At least I've tried 5 times, guys, and I have not got in one EQL, even though they say, oh, and next time it's going to be easier. And so, but hey, make a great relationship with your local card shop if you have one. I have with Overtime Cards. Chris and Michelle, the owners, have been awesome, have been great. So come check them out if you're here in Salt Lake. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at it right now. So it's an evolving thing.
Yeah, sounds like there's been some growing pains, but hopefully we have some Topps reps maybe listen to the podcast on the live. Joshua gave you guys some great suggestions there and some good feedback on it. Awesome.
I also feel like Marvel, I don't know how much prices have varied since Topps did take over, and I want to get into that.
Sure.
But Marvel, when you asked about getting into the product and what people can start beginning on opening, I feel like Marvel is a good way to do that because it's cheaper. Like the sports product, like National Treasures or whatever. I know that's Panini transitioning into Topps, but Marvel's usually been on the cheaper end because we have a mega box here that's only $40, and a mega box in retail for football or basketball is going to look at $60 to $70, and then when you resell it over $200, I guess depending on the class. There's obviously many figures that go into just cards in general. But what is your opinion, and what have you seen as far as the community response from Marvel as far as the prices? Has that driven people away? Has that just been I'm assuming that's a very hot topic.
It is a hot topic right now.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, I would say because of the product availability, that's a big issue.
Yeah.
The product availability in the EQL has been the big issue. Mm-hmm. If Topps said, hey, this is $450 product, and you got Topps Sapphire for $450 on the EQL, and then everybody had the ability to get at least one box, let's say.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. That's all they want. Mm-hmm. But they can't buy a product for $800 to $1,200 on eBay of a product that they could have got half price through them, and I think Topps would still make money, I know Upper Deck did. So that's kind of how that is. So the MSRP thing is always kind of a question, right? Like, what is the MSRP of this? Well, MSRP, if I would have to say, it was $450, because that's what the EQL was, is $450. Mm-hmm. But then they came out, or a couple other groups like Dave and Adams said, oh no, the actual product is $950 as MSRP. Well, usually the distributor, the actual manufacturer of the product, sets the MSRP, right? So I don't know what it is, but at the same time, I think it's just product availability that people have been chomping at. I would say in general, Upper Deck, they have product that are $100. They had product that was $200. They had Spider-Man metal that came out, and you could get it for $350 pre-order and get it on that pre-order. Or if you missed out on the pre-order, then it's now $450 to $500, right? Yeah. And then Spider-Man metal it all went up to about $900 at one point at its peak. So I would say the pre-ordering was big with Upper Deck, and a lot of us collectors got in on the pre-order because we would know where the links were.
Right.
All the sports guys probably not too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
But we did. And so if they were allowing collectors or some sort of realm of collectors being able to get a pre-order of some kind, maybe, hey, if you're a content creator and you have over 5,000 subscribers, you can actually get in on this pre-order or something like that. It just gives the ability for more content creators that do show Marvel cards an option. But that's just me.
Makes sense.
It's a great idea. I'm hoping for that growth. Hopefully it continues down that path, gets a little bit more accessible, and hopefully as Topps has it a little longer too. We maybe get a little more product, maybe a better lineup there. I was thinking it's probably a good time to start getting into some talking through.
Let's do it.
Would you rather rip into that one first or talk about some Marvel Mint first? Because I do think we want to cover both, just because, we get both new releases this week.
Why don't we dip into this? We'll talk about this, and then we can get into Marvel Mint, because I actually was able to open up a box yesterday here that people can watch, and we might be doing that in the future. Because I have a box still, another box.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and open this box. This Top Sapphire has been a huge commodity over the past week when it released. And you get 5 to 6 numbered cards in this box. And you get, one of the noticeable things that I saw in the checklist was the Tony Stark and Peter Parker dual auto.
Yeah.
Can we please pull that and have it in the shop?
Please pull it. Yeah.
That would be insane. But what have you seen out of this? I know you've opened a box. And what are you looking forward to opening here?
So just so everybody knows, this same artwork, because I do like to talk about the artwork when it comes to these cards. It's a little different than the sports, right?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
The artwork, it's all comic book art on this. There's no original art except for some of the inserts.
Yep.
And Sapphire was just like the regular Topps Chrome that just came out, okay? So the regular Topps Chrome that we just seen, same artwork. It's just going to be a different design. There's going to be more, I guess, just different colors, different design, and you're going to see the cracked ice. I don't know if that's how you say it in the sports. And in 2015, Marvel Upper Deck actually called it refined, is what they called it. And they had a 2015 Vibranium card, and it was the very first. It was actually the very first Upper Deck branded on the front card that Upper Deck came out with. Was
that's sick.
Marvel Vibrating. It's the very first Topps. It was the very first Chrome Upper Deck set as well.
Oh, sweet.
So,
I mean, I always call it cracked ice, even though it's Sapphire. But I love the design. I
like
love
to mix my packs. The only reason I like to mix my packs is just, I don't want anybody saying, oh, there's a collation to this, and then I know where the hits at.
An algorithm or whatever. So. Yeah. There's 8 packs per box, 4 cards.
That's right.
In each pack.
4 so 32. In each pack.
32 cards total. So let's see what we can get here.
Almost
let's get
average at $25 a card, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Let's now pull an out of 5 Spider-Man and make it $15,000.
Exactly. Now we're talking.
That would be insane.
For any of our sports folks at home, it is very similar to the Sapphire that they do for baseball or basketball. Has that cracked ice design. Going to be one of your Topps flagship products, one of their most iconic designs, and I think very well loved here.
So the hit is actually the 3rd card.
Okay.
Just so you know as well. So it looks like we got Samurai Venom. This will be the hit underneath this one here. And this is Cable. Cable is the 4th card. And then the 3rd card looks like it's just a regular pack. So regular pack just doesn't have a hit.
Yep. Saving the hits till last. Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. That's how I do it.
Yep. And Joshua, if it's too much, let me know. But as you're opening them up, I was looking on the checklist. Looks like a lot of comic book artist signatures and writer signatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are those considered desirable cards? Like in sports, any ink on a card, we're chasing it like crazy. Do the comic book artists and writers get the same love as the sketch cards? I know when Upper Deck was doing it, they were doing a lot of the celebrity actor autographs. Where do those kind of fall in the
I guess
lexicon
the autos,
there?
it just depends on if it's like numbered, right? Because then if it's numbered out of 10 or something, there's only 10 of those ones. But if it's a non-numbered auto, there could be 100 of them. So I don't, you never know. And so it could be $100, $200, or it could be $1,000 because there's only 10 of them. So it just depends on that. But I would say the sketch cards out of this is pretty rare to get.
Yeah.
So that would be a big thing to hit. Some of us Marvel card collectors, just so we know, there are some great sketch artists out there, okay? But some of the sketches that we've seen out of Topps is like, my 4-year-old could have done better. So it just depends on what it is that way.
Yep. I'm a huge Star Wars guy, and the sketches run the same, where you have some of the most detailed, beautiful artwork, and then some that are, pencil took them 3 minutes to do.
100%. There's Hulk.
All right.
That's a good one there.
I love Iron Man, so that's who I'm hoping we see. I like Spider-Man
and then
too.
the hit spot. Oh, okay. We got an out of 50.
There we go.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Definitely pretty awesome on that out of 50. So that's our first hit, guys.
First numbered.
First hit right there. First numbered hit.
Do we got pennies?
Yeah, we need pennies.
Oh, they're right there.
Pennies.
In that tin right there.
All right.
But yeah, that's rule number 1. Gotta save up your hits. Gotta save up your hits.
Like, where are the pennies before we even crack this open,
I know.
right?
What are we
doing? Should have done that first.
All good.
All right. So the first card here, we got Jane Foster. Second card, we have...
I think it's funny how when you're opening cards.
Oh, and Doom is in the hit spot, but
there we go.
Did not get any numbered cards. Just a regular pack.
That would have been big. That would have been a big card.
Yeah, and then we got Spider-Man 2099. Still great artwork, great cards. Couldn't say much else other than I do love the cracked ice feel to this Topps Chrome, 100%.
Out of 25.
This may be a dumb question because I know it obviously launched it in the stratosphere, but how much of the popularity with the Marvel cards do you think have to do with the Avengers movies recently and all of the success that Disney found? And I guess maybe recently they haven't had as much success, but there was that run there where every year they were releasing a Marvel that reset a blockbuster record and did all of that. Do you think there's a lot of influence in that still? Do you think it's sort of died out as we've gone?
So I have a buddy who's big into the Comic Cons and talks about Pokemon, sports, and all that stuff. And his name's Pancake Analytics. Don't know if you've heard of him before, but he actually has broken down an algorithm, where it shows that some of these movies that do come out have some variance on the card itself. There was a PMG of Spider-Man that sold back to back, one on eBay, one on Golden Auctions for $50,000. It was a blue out of 50. And it was graded a PSA 9 and a Beckett 9, or it was either 2 Beckett 9s or 1 PSA 9. I can't remember exactly, but it was right the day that the movie came out, the auction ended. And so they both ended at 50,000. This was at the time of the Marvel card boom that Spider-Man came out. So in variance, it does happen.
Okay. I feel like we have a very similar thing in sports with forecasting playoff teams, rookies, Bowman firsts, you know?
We got Krakoa. Some of these characters I don't know too well. Others I do. She-Hulk. We do know She-Hulk.
We know She-Hulk.
She was on the Disney Plus Marvel spinoff that could have been a lot better, but we won't talk about that. Okay, next card, we got Prowler. And we got our hit spot. Ooh, we got an out of 75. So out of 75, the Maker. So
looks
like go
a
ahead and sleeve that one.
Teal sapphire, teal cracked ice.
Yep,
I love that color. It's
that blue is really nice. Actually, my buddy pulled the Wolverine of that out of 75. Spidey
awesome.
hits
That's
out
sick.
of his. That was one of his first boxes that he opened.
I love when you open cards and you're ripping at the desk and it's so quiet over here because you're just so focused on what you're opening. Like, because you just, I love opening anything. I love opening. Such a fun time.
And we'll get a close up for this for everybody at home. But something you don't see in these sapphire cards on the breaks is the detail behind them. So looking at the maker, there's a beautiful cityscape behind him here, and you can kind of see it. We'll get a close up for you guys, but just the amount of detail is incredible that Topps put into them in the backgrounds there.
Yeah.
That is great.
I mean, that's
awesome.
one thing that some of the Marvel card collectors said that they want to see. They want to see original art, not just comic book art that are in the archives, because these are just pulled right out of the archives of what is accessible to Topps to print.
Right.
And that's kind of how they did it. I know these are from some of the first flagship sets that they're coming out with. So hopefully in the future, we will see more of that ability for original art. So, all right. So we have Bloodline. And then we have Rocket Raccoon. And looks like it's just a regular pack Lizard.
Okay.
Rocky Raccoon, that's a really good card. That's awesome.
That would have been cool if that was numbered.
Really seen that one, but no, it's not numbered, but it's great. It's still, the Sapphire is just beautiful.
Oh yeah.
They are beautiful. I don't know what the singles are running. You know, I'm sure a Spider-Man or a Wolverine regular base probably pull 30, 40, 50 bucks right now on Sapphire.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Next pack here, guys. How many more packs we got? We got two more
left
packs,
after that
two more
one.
packs.
Little magic here. We're hoping for Jeff the Land Shark on my end.
I'm not a breaker, so I go a lot slower than others. That's why we talk about it on my channel and all that stuff, all the hits. Mysterio, that's really good artwork there.
Is that teal again, or is that like a green?
No, it's a blue still. This is the hit spot right here. You can see it before me. Oh, it's a green out of 99.
There we go.
Looks like a Silver Samurai. That's awesome. My buddy Jordan would be into that. That's awesome. 35 of 99.
Jordan, we're open 11 to 7 during the week.
Awesome. 35 of 99.
And weekends as well.
Exactly.
Hit the shop up open till 5 on the weekday or weekends,
all right,
not weekdays.
2 packs left.
I could rave about the Sapphire all day.
Oh, sure.
That's a cool card.
Who we got here? We have the Watcher. All right. We got Iron Fist. We got Crossbones. And our hit spot would be here, but it's just a regular Black Widow. In general, it looks like we got three numbered card out of the box so far. That's a little lower than statistically, at least, that I've seen.
Interesting.
I think I've seen anywhere from 4 to 6, but an average of 5. I did hit 6 yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that means we got a monster in this.
All right. You know what this is? It's what I call last pack magic, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Last pack magic. It is the last pack of the box. We are lacking a numbered card, maybe an out of 10, maybe a 101, maybe an auto. Let's just see what we get.
Tony Stark. Come on. Tony Stark auto.
I pull a fire card out of the last pack, but we'll see what we can get.
Hey, we subscribe to Last Pack Magic around here. There's something about them, man. Just sitting on the shelves the longest. So
that's awesome. All right.
All righty.
Okay. So we have Wasp for card number 1 here. We have the Thing, which is regular base, but because of everybody, I don't want to give it away. So I'm going to do the bottom card real quick here. Bottom card is going to be Photon. So we're going to see Thing and then the hit. Oh, yeah, Thing is the hit.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I was a little off for a second. So we got an out of 50 Thing, guys. That is sweet.
All right, nice big one coming at the end there.
Awesome. There's the hit of the box, I would say. I guess Lockjaw's to 25. Number. I didn't see that.
Yeah, a little orange on the
orange to 25. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, there's the Thing. That's the main hit here. Let's go ahead and sleeve that up.
So the next thing we're going to ask you about here, Joshua, is a brand new release in the last couple of weeks, something that has been super popular in shop. We sold out of it as quick as you could blink.
Oh, yeah.
It is the Marvel Mint. To the best of my knowledge, this is the first year that they've released it, but they've released 2 different versions, right?
Correct.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the Comic-Con box that was the first one that was released? And then tell us a bit about the hobby that has now been released this last week here.
Yeah, so I actually had a buddy that went to SDCC, Matt Coombs, First Avenger 01 on Instagram. He actually was able to get in line. You had to stay in line for these, okay? You had to get in line, wait for hours to get this box. And then when you got there, you had to pay for the box. So you paid for the box as well. And a lot of people that were Marvel card collectors like myself, they were actually trying to buy boxes off of people that were in line. So they were buying boxes for $300 and all that stuff. And then we saw it all go up to like $900 a box.
Wow.
So that SDCC one, there were some exclusives in there that do show on the back of the card, SDCC exclusive. Some were 101's Doom cards, some were 101 other cards, comic cuts. And so there was just all sorts of different ones coming out of there. And a lot of them that were coming out, it's like, man, there's a banger in almost every box. Because technically there is, because there's an encased card that's numbered typically out of every box is a case card. And then you get 10 cards. Out of the 10 cards, you could actually pull really good, decent cards out of that stack of 10 cards as well. I was able to actually open up an SDCC exclusive box of Marvel Mint. I actually pulled a Spider-Man out of 10 platinum, and
Crazy.
The border was like gold and black speckled. It looks amazing, right?
That's awesome.
And I was able to grade it through Overtime Cards, and we're waiting to hear back to see if it's a PSA 9 or 10. So
awesome. When did you pull that?
Pulled it just right a week after the SDCC.
Oh, sweet.
I was able to get a box. I was one of those guys that the boxes came out that night.
Yeah.
And I bought one right away.
Yep.
So I was able to buy one for about $300, not $900 like some.
That is awesome.
sweet.
And yeah, I mean, I imagine that a Comic-Con has so many different options to go to, especially in San Diego at a big one. To wait in line for this box was probably you had to give up some panels, you had to give up some other things to do it. So pretty amazing. So yeah, like Joshua said, kind of the breakdown of the box is, and it's hobby and sounds like the SDCC were the same. You've got a pack in there and then an encased card. It comes in a one touch on the bottom. I know when I was looking in the hobby, they were doing a lot of the Gambit's deck was a lot of your encased cards, which is pretty awesome. If anybody's not familiar with the, I guess, Hero Gambit.
Yeah.
They did an exclusive sort of combo there. I was just curious. There is one that really stuck out for me on the checklist. And part of it is I'm a sports Star Wars guy primarily. If something like this showed up in the sports world, somebody might put a bounty on it. A Pittsburgh Pirates might offer 30 years of season tickets.
Okay.
I was seeing there was a cut signature. There's one cut signature in this product, and it belongs to Mr. Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, I saw that.
What does having something like that in a product do for the market? Is it the same in sports where people just are going crazy for just trying to find this one? Like it's a Stan Lee autograph at the end of the day. It's huge. Are people more inclined to buy a product with something like that in there? Does it bring in non-Marvel folks? What, in your opinion, does that factor?
Well, with
in
Marvel card
influence?
collectors, it hasn't ever been based upon market, but since COVID, it has a little bit, let's just say.
Yeah.
And a lot of card collectors that had a lot of these PMGs that you see out there, precious metal gems from 2013, very first Marvel precious metal gem year. And they were having these, I mean, they were only selling for $40, $60 when the time was that it came out, the release. And maybe the Spider-Man would go for $200-$300. But we saw the Spider-Man green sell for over $250,000 at one point before.
Gosh.
Okay. So I'm just stating that with the market now and how Topps has the actual Marvel license, it's a different game. If you want to get in, it's a little different buy-in. It's a little different way to get in. I make content just for fun in the hobby. The money that I make for my career is a little separate, but at the same time, I'm in a point where in my life and I have a career, I have a little bit of money that I can use, right? So I just try to have fun. And most of the time, card collectors do that. That's what a lot of my friends are doing right now as well. But I would say the market has a lot to do. If that Stan Lee goes to golden auction, I've seen Topps cards sell for $32,000 on 101.
Wow.
And so if we see that and there's only one of them and it's Stan Lee, I mean, it would probably push 100,000 maybe. More.
Wow.
More if there's a lot more eyes on it.
I would think minimum because it's
That would be
Stanley.
minimum. That would be minimum.
Who doesn't know who Stanley is?
Yeah.
Like he's an icon. That would be crazy if you pulled that, or if you knew anyone that pulled that, that would be a crazy pull.
And typically, last thing I'll say about this, it wouldn't be the card collector that's doing it. It would be that one and only guy that wants this one card that has possibly nothing to do with sports even. He just has a lot of money and he wants that in his personal collection. That's what we see a lot of the time, right?
Yeah.
And when people drop $1 million for Mickey Mantle, or they drop all this other money for Triple Logo Man and all that stuff. I mean, there are just people out there that will, and it only takes two people, guys. Two people that want the same card, and then that's where the actual how much is this value worth?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Joshua, for joining us. Your love and just your passion for this is so evident, man. And it's infectious. You know, we got people walking behind you, smiling, just hearing what you got going on. So keep doing that and bring a little Marvel Madness to all of us, because we need it. There's a lot of joy with it. So thanks you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Make sure, again, you guys subscribe to our channel and his as well. And we will see you guys in the next episode. So thanks for tuning in.